Ooh,
Hmm.
okay.
Mali being such high prio again.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, Malians have been very, very much present in the qualifiers. I don't think I've seen a single draft where they haven't been there, and not also have been picked as well. And Mongols have been banned, which that personally feels, yeah, that's a choice.
Seems very targeted.
Yeah.
Then again, right? Like, because we don't have like Holy Island and Golden Heights is just banned out, so.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, nobody picked KT.
Yeah,
How
KT's
sad.
again not there. Yeah, KT had either been banned or not been picked, so seems like high level players don't value KT if there's no water involved. So pretty sad, I would say. Like I like KT. I really think it's a cool idea in general for Civilization, and has some cool stuff put into
It's
it.
a cool idea. All right, okay.
No, I mean I don't. I'm not a native. How else do I say it? It's like I like the idea behind it. I don't.
Okay, yeah, no.
No, just the fact that you have different commanderies that you can choose from and like split it up a little bit. So that is very, very cool. I really like that. For some it's too much. For like I just like it. So.
Touche. All right, let's go into game. We are a little bit behind IRL time, so we are going to be speeding up a little bit here. So let's get into it.
All right. So yeah, Anovaku playing the House of Lancaster here on the left side of Pigeon's View against Valdemar, who had been in the finals yesterday as well and just barely lost against his buddy MSM. He's playing the Delhi Sultanate, starting with the berries, with the mosque, mill, everything, just completely standard stuff. Do you expect anything crazy here? Like in terms of, landmark choices and whatever?
Not particularly. The only interesting thing so far is the build order from Anovaku. It's different. What to say? I'm fully expecting, this to kind of just be 3 manners by the looks of it. Normally you would gather a little bit. I'm being very picky here. Admittedly, it's just like the build order, thinking about that. Normally you edge up with your gold villagers, you move them over to stone. It's a little bit of a different one. Again, the pickiness is very high on this one.
Yeah, I mean, he is, like, the build order that he's following right now is enabling him to, as soon as he hits Fuel Age, he can immediately drop the first manor. And so he doesn't...
do that anyways.
Well, I know, I'm just saying, like, he just did it that way, and then... Like, for me, to me, to my untrained Lancaster eyes, it looks fine. But as I said, very, very high picky here. On the other side, Valdemar was aging up with the Dome of the Faith, so nothing crazy there as well. The Tower of Victory, I personally like it, but it's not the preferred landmark in any way, shape, or form. Immediately going to the Pro Scouts here, so that's the first one being queued up with the mill. He also has 2 mills, so that really helps in getting those techs a little bit quicker as the Delhi. And there's 3 manors being built already. So we're 5 minutes in, 3 manors, pretty much all at the same time almost. And
it's a solid greedy build. I'm gonna go with that one. It's to be as unbiased as possible. Double barracks being dropped as well. These are on the way. We, as mentioned, that Pro Scout was dropped, so he's getting these ecotechs pretty well in. It's a little bit hard now for actually Valdemar to punish anything that the Lancaster does, I feel. And I'm still speeding up about 2 times just because there's actually no action going on right now.
yeah, I mean, like, to be honest, like,
little bit here now.
My experience with playing as House Lancaster has been like that. If the opponent goes for the Castle of Lancaster, it is kind of difficult to punish that in a sense, because everything is kind of either underneath the town center or the Castle of Lancaster, and so it can be a little bit rough. And that's why in a lot of cases I just opt for the fast castle and grab the relics instead. So as Delhi, you clearly do not do it that way exactly. You're looking for the sacred sites as well. And with the Ghazi Raiders, you may be able to find some damage. And as long as you don't lose your units, again, you can heal them up with a Scholar. So you can be a little bit more risky with that. Palisades getting dropped here by the archers. I don't know when the last time was that I've seen that.
It's been a while. It's been a while,
right? I mean, I don't hate it. Like, to be honest, it especially against some slower infantry-based compositions, as you would probably expect from the Lancaster. It gives you a lot of time to make sure that you get to the sacred site before it's getting decapped. And so this kind of indicates that Valdemar is really looking for the sacred victory here. Or at least really wants to keep these sacred sites as long as possible.
Yeah, I mean, it is a lot of investment that is actually going into the sacred site walls. I mean, it's about like 120 wood, if I remember correctly. It should be about
something like that.
35 or so. So it is a lot of investment that actually is going in. But it is a lot of time that your opponent has to spend torching and actually fighting over this. And to be fair, and this is something that a lot of people have discussed, is the straight up annoyance of having to move into a wall, because sometimes what the units will do is they will attack move, but they will actually be targeting the palisade guides.
Yeah, it really can throw off your opponent, but Anovaku has a sizable army here, and with the with the yeoman is actually able to fire at the archers who are trying to build a different gate to get out there alive. Good thinking here by Valdemar, but Anovaku finding the perfect moment to clap here. Valdemar was earlier gone with the Ghazi Raiders, finding one villager kill, but that's why his army wasn't all in one place. And Anovaku really capitalizing on that, I don't want to say mistake, but on that situation, on that fact.
Yeah, Valdemar has gotten a villa kill behind this, right?
Yeah.
Anovaku did. I'm not sure the state of the pro scout he has. He should have been getting some scouts back over this, right? Yeah, he has gotten some there. So there's a little bit of an eco influx. Military numbers are looking inflated for Valdemar due to the fact that the scholars does exist. The Siding Cone is asking so many scholars, how many is typical? I don't play Delhi. Scholars for Delhi is like villagers. You constantly produce them, especially with Dome of Faith. When you go castle, suddenly at some point, I think it's 19 or 18 or something around those numbers, your age up or your veterancy is coming in quicker than your opponent's veterancy, and you're getting them in for free.
Yeah, I mean, also the fact that you garrison the scholars in the military buildings, and then you produce a lot faster out of them, so you have to build less into, like, you have to invest less into military buildings as well. So just overall really good. At some point you pull a handful and then you have them in the fights as well. So there's a couple different things that you do with the scholars, and Valdemar is clearly doing a good job here, as we can see. Every military building having one scholar being garrisoned there, and that really helps with the time here. In terms of sacred sites, we just have one sacred site that Valdemar currently possesses. Actually, no, he just lost that one. So yeah, he did lose the sacred sites here. But it's trying to recapture that one here on the right side, at least for now. Anovaku, he has stopped with 3 manors, so he's not going up for the 6 or the 9, which also means that the demi lances that he could levy there, he only can get 5 out. So for now, not really that imposing. Speaking of imposing, is an army looking really strong. So that is like with the yeoman and the spearman, that's a really difficult comp to deal with, even with the Ghazis. And the archers, they're just regular archers, so it's kind of rough against the yeoman.
Yeah, I'm mostly looking at it and I'm going, I'm glad I don't have the money shot.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Valdemar at the same time, he did capture one sacred site again, and he's going up with the House of Learning, which is a good, timing. He's already done all of his techs except for the siege engineering, so once he hits Castle Age, he can immediately just queue the next set of techs. And with 11 scholars, he did lose one. And with 11 scholars, he can get them in a reasonable time. And then Anovaku kind of has the option to either get on there as fast as possible or go castle himself. A good raid here by Valdemar, finding 3 more villager kills. And losing 1 Ghazi raider, that's totally fine. Well, okay.
This is what happens when you don't click far enough away.
Yeah, I hate that so much. It's but I mean that's part of the game. So donating a couple more Ghazis, but still worth it. Still a good one. Age up is getting through. And I mean, Anovaku's not far off Castle Age himself. He just needs a little bit more food, and then he is there. And where do you go from there? I mean, do you go into Gulams? Do you go elephants? What would be your next move as Valdemar? Or just lancers?
Normally, I would say, okay, you go lancers with your hone blades. This upgrade, is really, really strong.
Yeah, it is.
However, as we saw last game, pretty damn well, we saw the effectiveness of the King's College Knights that is available from Anovaku. See, okay, I was worried about why I wasn't aging. Anyways, fight is going to be starting here, though. I think it's a little bit too early for Anovaku, honestly. Elephants are in queue and man-at-arms are as well coming through here. So there's going to be a pretty solid front line who's going to be tanking a couple of volleys. And I say couple of volleys, I've actually been tanking a lot of volleys here on the front line as the spearmen, they're taken down pretty damn quickly by Valdemar. Now there's an elephant on the field and all 5 relics. 3 of them already garrisoned, 2 of them are on the way back home. Valdemar is looking pretty damn solid right now.
Yeah, this is looking really good for Valdemar, and the elephant, the sight of that alone has, pushed Anovaku completely out of Valdemar's base. And he respects that, once his spearmen are not a thing anymore, he cannot really deal with the elephant. And now, we're slowly getting to the point where we have 13 scholars, 1 more in queue. As soon as the upgrades are done and you're not really thinking about researching anymore, you can pull a handful of them if you want to, and then just heal up the units. And granted, Anovaku can snipe them, but at the same time, yeah, you kind of have to deal with that fact as well.
I do want to highlight, so normally it's 1:30, so we can see here for these guys it's 1:30. Hold on. So it's a minute actually, sorry. And for these it's a minute. Here it's 1:47 seconds, but if you actually look in the stable, this guy, it's 53 seconds and you're getting it for free.
Yeah, that is pretty
That is
crazy.
The power of value.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the amount of resources that they save by not having to pay anything for that, and if you get enough scholars, which that of course is an investment, you can get them in a reasonable time as well, and that is super strong. We have 2 elephants currently on the field, still a sizable army in archers, and then some men-at-arms and lancers and spearmen across, basically everything. Valdemar is going for like He's looking at the menu. He's like, one of each, please.
Yes, your finest diners, sir. Everything.
One of everything, sir, please.
Oh god, okay, that was way too posh. Okay, Valdemar is sniffing a little bit as to what is going on here. Seeing if I can find anything. On the other side of Anovaku, though, I am a little bit scared as to what is going to be going on here. Does not have any upgrades in the King's College. There is that tiny part of me, the very, very tiny part of me that is looking at Burgundian.
Really?
And I'm thinking,
okay.
If Valdemar goes into mass elephants,
then yes. Yeah.
Then yes. But archers is the real problem.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's a big if, and Anovaku doesn't have the resources right now to do either or, and so I think for the time being he's better served with doing just what he does right now, which is crossbow, spearman, yeoman, and then a couple of earth guard. Synchronized. Oh my goodness, disgusting synchronized shot here, but. Once that is done, you have a while to deal with the cooldown, and so he's on the back foot now again. Lancers on the chase here, on the hunt. Elephant slowly in the back as well. Where's the front line? Completely gone here for Anovaku. There's one hobbler, but there's no spearman anymore to deal with the Lancers. And the yeomen are just on a retreat. They cannot deal with that at all right now.
Pretty damn rough right now. Anovaku is just running away. There's nothing frontline. He's just gonna lose all of him. I think he was typing GG as he stopped cutting.
He probably was. His army value was down 6-1 here. Valdemar, really strong game here, really well played, and we see with the military value, there was almost no time in the game where he wasn't ahead, where he wasn't doing what he needed to do. Resource-wise, he was looking very strong as well. 5 relics and 2 sacred sites at the end at least. So pretty solid deluge of performance. Really strong opening here. Taking the first game.
And I'm That's kind of how I expected the matchup to kind of go, to be honest. I didn't expect the pro scout play and like the kind of greed that Valdemar had, if that makes sense. But other than that, yeah, that's kind of how I expected the matchup to go.
Yeah, the pro scout opening was a little bit interesting, but I don't think he doubled down too much on that. And again, since he doesn't pay anything for that tech, and he has 2 mills, so he can research 2 eco techs at the same time there, he did lose too much there. So it's a nice little bonus that got him a head start, and from there he was just in favor for most of the game. And I do wonder if Anovaku would have been better served with being a little bit more greedy and having more manners, because the eco was just not there at the end.
But speaking of things that is here, it is Salties in the chat donating those 5 gifty subs, and with those subs it is going straight into the prize pool and helping us cover the event costs. And if you do want to donate, there is that donation link. Someone, I wish I could say who, but I don't know, donated $300, which is going to be getting doubled if I am not mistaken.
Yes, so Type Error, shout out to him. He said that he will match any donations up to $2,000. So the more you give, the more he will give, and the more we will have to put up this great event coming in 2 months in Denver, in Colorado. And so it's a worldwide event, so we're actually flying out some people from Europe to help out there as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on there, and so if you can help make it possible, we would highly appreciate that.
Time to sell some Pokemon cards and donate. God damn, that's a very good point, Pleco.
That would be funny.
I shouldn't say much. It was 2 weeks ago, I think, that I went through and was like, okay, what is my Pokemon card collection worth now? And it's like about $2,500, and that admittedly made me kind of depressed. Anyways, game number 2. We are on Cliffside. We have English being picked here by Anovaku versus the Holy Roman Empire. And I am disappointed that there's no villager rush.
Oh, really? Are you disappointed?
Yes.
Oh.
At the very least, some man-at-arm.
I mean, I'm sure you're the only one who's disappointed that there's no villager rush here by English. I mean, I see what you mean. It's just it depends on where the gold spawns, right? So it can be like way in the front, and that's really nice, but it also could be a little bit more on the backside, and so it could be a high risk, high reward kind of play. And if you're on a Vaku and you're down 1 point, I don't know if you want to risk that. And so maybe you just played a little bit more standard and safe. With Cliffside, I really like English on that map because of the cliffs in the middle, some natural choke points. You can just drop a few outposts and you have the whole area covered. You're kind of close to your opponent as well. A little bit closer than on other maps at least. And so I would expect some focus on feudal aggression from Anovaku.
Yeah, then again, like a little bit back to the man-at-arms opening that could have been happening from English. It is a good way of actually slowing down Valdemar, and you can see he kind of went for sort of like, okay, there's going to be something happening, because he pulled off gold and now is fully on food. Which is a bit of an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, he did the same last game with House of Lancaster, so maybe. Oh wait, did you mean Valdemar pulled off gold?
Yeah. He just completely pulled off gold, and now he's back on it. Oh no, that's good. That's
good.
going to. Okay, so we have a back Aachen that is going onto the wood line. Would I like to see it affect the bears? So this to me is, hey, let's play feudal. I'm gonna just go mass archers, man-at-arms, play feudal, and then tune.
Yeah, which would kind of require him to go back on gold. Really interesting to see what he's going to do with all that wood that he's gathering right now. Especially because this Aachen is covering like every single wood that he has in his base. There's a barracks, okay.
So, I mean, this has to be man-at-arms, surely.
It must be, yeah. I mean,
sure.
If you're expecting, okay, Anovaku is going up with Abbey of Kings, so that's going to be the king plus horseman.
Yeah.
If that's then yes, of course you can also go with the spearman. But other than that, if you expect longbows, you clearly need to have the men at arms instead or horsemen.
Yeah, it's probably on second thought, it's probably going to be a couple of spearmen just to fight off the initial king for a little bit, and then we start going into more of a more archers and spears.
Yeah, we have one spearman already in queue. So for now we'll be dealing with the scout, and then later on with the king. Which I'm guessing he scouted that, or he's just expecting that because that will be the general play. Early farms. Oh, okay, he scouted. Okay, no one. Then early farms getting dropped here by Anovaku as well. So adding an archery range as well. So no horsemen for now, at least.
I mean, you don't 1, 2, okay. Okay. So maybe we are actually just getting man-at-arms horsemen? Could be an interesting approach.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we do have a lot of walls just coming up. So yeah, this is yeah. Like, we're gonna play extended feudal. I'm gonna set up my farms down here, and you're not gonna touch it.
Yeah. So what we've seen yesterday a lot is that Valdemar, at least on a lot of the games that I saw yesterday, was playing it pretty defensively, setting up for the late game, and then when he felt he was ready, he was steamrolling his opponent mostly. And so maybe that's the same thing that he's trying to look for as HIE here now. He knows that Anovaku is probably not gonna play a fast castle, not gonna focus as much on the sacred on the relics, so he doesn't really need to rush them as well. And he can just set up the farms there and has a super strong eco. And once you have that going with the Aachen Chapel and the full farm setup, that is really, really damn strong. So it's not the worst, worst strategy that you can go for.
Yeah, this is. It's peculiar. I mean, Valdemar is going into this 1-1-1 composition that he really likes to go, which I'm not that surprised about. But I'm more surprised about the fact that we're staying like we made this many spearmen, if that makes sense. You only need a couple to find off that eye or the king. You're kind of just running into circles. We are able to get these walls up on the back, so we effectively secure the entire back of our base, which is really, really nice. And we do have pro scouts now actually coming in as well.
Okay, pro scouts is kind of surprising me, I have to admit. Especially with the Aachen, it's kind of like I would have guessed it's kind of like an either-or situation. But I mean, then again, if you can get the deer under your Aachen, you're also pretty happy with that. So.
Oh yeah,
maybe...
like pro scout Aachen, like you're. Whew, whew.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh please! I don't see that happening actually. I mean, okay, scout.
I was hoping.
And that was pretty close, but yeah, just put it underneath the Abbey of Kings, and 20 seconds later it's full health again, so don't worry about that for now. King making it out alive, Scout as well, and Wolf not taking an opportunistic hit there. Yeah, also Anovaku is adding a tower there in the middle, so kind of trying to create some bonus that he has here with the English as well, and also with the line of sight. And so maybe he's also preparing to slowly push forward and, creepingly adding one tower after another. Which can be really difficult to deal with as well. If you're English, you have a lot of longbows underneath the tower. That is really, really annoying.
I would assume, and I'm hoping what Anovaku will do here is actually kind of going to be leapfrogging with some towers effectively, where he will, make one tower, okay, cool, and then let's go to the next one.
Yeah.
And then we'll make the next one. So you always have one to fall back. You have this kind of creep going. I also would like to actually just see some walls in the middle of the map. We've kind of seen this on Delhi a couple of times, where you have this wall that goes across here, and that just allows you, because of the fact that you have this immobile army, to actually just be moving around, creating choke points, and having a better time. We do actually now have man-at-arms that's coming in from Anovaku, and that's fine, right? I mean, look at the farm setup we have. It's pretty damn good, if I say so myself.
Yeah, absolutely. Horsemen on the gold villagers, so getting a good connect here, but not enough to kill them. And Abbey of Kings is pretty close, so they just, fall back for a while and then get back to it, and they're full health again.
It's like barely not in range, right?
Yeah, it's barely, but yeah, just
I mean, I don't even know where the low HP ones are anymore. I think they just healed up already.
Probably. They probably just went back to the sheep and then they healed up again.
Fight's going to be happening now. Going to be taking a lot of damage on the front line here. Anovaku is, and the longbows, they are going to be staying alive. You're kind of just sacrificing the front line to making sure that, hey, those are going to be staying there. Horsemen coming in now for the flank as well, and the archers should be able to chase this down. And this is one of the problems with actually playing this composition as English. You're just out-mobilized so much due to the marching drills that the HRE has.
Yeah, you can't really keep up with that in terms of move speed. The king healing doesn't affect them as long as they're in fight. And yeah, as soon as you lose the spearman, you lose the fight. That's really, really rough. The horsemen are cleaning up everything here, and the archers just relentlessly pushing down. And you don't even have the tower to fall back towards too, so you couldn't even just hold your ground there. Trying to save as many longbows as he can, but he's probably only like 3 maybe out of that whole bunch there. That is a brutal fight here, and Valdemar finding this opportunity so perfectly. This must hurt Anovaku. I mean, he had a sizable army, it was looking fine for him, and then he got caught off position. And then the natural walls really were his detriment. He couldn't really fall back to a straight line. He was caught there in a rough position. Valdemar can now just burn down the tower if he pleases to.
Yeah, and again, right, a little bit back to the idea of, hey, okay, what if we leapfrog? Like, what if we have that tower and another tower? That fight would have gone so much differently if we actually had that network of castles buff that was going on. Yeah. But now Valdemar is going pretty damn deep. The archer mass is looking solid, doesn't have that +1 range damage, not that he's going to need it too much, but the front line here is taking a lot of damage from Valdemar, and he doesn't have any spears or man-at-arms actually tanking the front line anymore.
Yeah, I mean, the town center was doing a lot of damage here, so the little bit of Valdemar had as a front line got decimated by that, and at the same time his archers were doing a great job at dealing and decreasing the longbow mass. Anovaku down to 4 longbows and 8 men-at-arms. So the men-at-arms currently the biggest point in his army. Tower getting burned down here, and Valdemar with his men-at-arms is able to torch that down. Doesn't have any horsemen left anymore. But yeah, still a lot of archers, and that is that is difficult or almost impossible for Anovaku to deal with right now without horsemen.
Yeah, we do now as well. Speaking of horses, we do have those pro scouts in the dark now. They are going to be sneaking up some deer packs. Has gotten his initial one, is on his second one as well now, and could very, very easily be going for Anovaku's second deer pack as well. So that should be easily 3 deer packs for Valdemar underneath the Aachen Chapel.
Yeah, the only one that is kind of out of his reach right now would be the one in the back of the base. Well, with a couple of pro scouts, he could actually take that if they take a little bit of a detour at some point. Anovaku now back at the front of Valdemar's base, but there's a tower that he needs to respect, so he can't really do anything. And Valdemar at the same time with his archer mass in the back of the base, so that potentially could be very ugly in the wood line very, very soon. Villager going down here against the king, so that is a little bit...
it.
Yeah, spots it, but that should still be a couple villagers.
Or can we get a 5th one?
Yeah, there's a couple ones more.
We are actually just straight up just diving underneath an English TC for villagers, while on the other side, gold is getting idled out.
Yeah, the gold being idled out is an issue because Valdemar was really close getting up to the castle age. He just is needing a little bit more gold. But finding a couple good villager kills as well as the idle time. But he also did sacrifice a lot of archers, so not 100% sure if that's really worth it.
The insanity to me is the fact that the villager numbers are still the same. Valdemar has literally idled 3 villagers.
Yeah, don't know.
Man-at-arms numbers now for Anovaku is looking damn solid as well. Fight's going to be breaking out once again in the base here. He's kind of just diving onto those longbows and kind of just ignoring the man-at-arms for the most part.
Yeah, and archers are joining the fight now again. They were caught up a little bit with the reinforcements, and now the archers can deal with the longbows now that the horsemen are gone. And yeah, I mean, the longbow mass is something that you do not want to have to deal with. Against the man-at-arms, you can always just spam your own man-at-arms, and you'll be kind of fine. But as long as you can keep the longbow mass in check, that is a good way to contain your opponent for sure, and has enough to.
It's a lot of idle time here. At the same time, the fight on the other side Valdemar right now is just losing so much.
Yeah, the fights are not really in his favor right now. He also did lose 2 villagers in the Archenchapel farms, so plus the idle time. So eco-wise, Anovaku did a lot of damage here again, and significantly delaying Valdemar's castle age timing. Who he would have loved to be castled by now. He was really close there in terms of resources. Another little bit of engagement. We should see a flank of the horsemen come from the left side pretty soon.
Valdemar has all the way out to.
Okay, never mind then. Yeah. I don't know. I would have loved to see a flank on the longbows there instead, but yeah, trying to find a raid to find some more damage.
And we know where we're going to be fighting in a little bit.
Yeah, that is a very aggressive outpost. Clearly, that was not necessary.
Okay, that is used for emergency repairs.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the cooldown is not forever, so why not? Getting 1 villager kill here in the farms at least, and losing 2 horsemen in return.
Siege engineering is coming through now as well. Valdemar, he needs this gold. He's going to be actually contested. Like, he's going to be pretty desperate for gold. Like, all of the eco upgrades, none of them exists.
Yeah, he's in terms of eco or even in military upgrades, he's way behind right now. Tower is being constructed right now. Valdemar knows about that, and he needs to hold that position. Siege engineering also came through for Anovaku now, so he can build rams anytime as soon as this fight is over. He's up to 20 longbows, so his numbers are stabilizing, and Valdemar is losing archers and doesn't really have a lot of front line. And not really a good way right now to engage with the man-at-arms, except for, yeah, putting his own man-at-arms there as well. Villager getting sniped there, tower at least stopped for now.
But the fight did go in Valdemar's favor here, crazily enough, and it's due to the fact that defender's advantage and the fact that there is no tower there for the English. Archer's looking solid right now, and the man-at-arms tanking well on the front line as well, and now we're having this very awkward split-up, if I must say.
It is really awkward here with
like
the
3 fights happening at once.
Yeah. But, I mean, it kind of works out for now at least, and Valdemar is just picking off the reinforcements and trying to deal as much damage as possible. And with the 1 villager, it just takes a minute to get the tower up, and I do wonder if the leapfrogging what we talked about earlier, if that would have happened already, those fights would be so different and so much more in Anovaku's favor.
And we do now have as well behind us, we have the wood line for Valdemar. It's running out. His wood villagers, they're no longer in range of the Aachen, so it's going to be exceptionally slowed down. He can change to the one in the front, but that is an attack vector that Anovaku can exploit, and I think will as well. And now the outpost is getting emergency repaired. Anovaku might not know about that, so he might think it's off cooldown. Question mark?
He might very well think that, but at the same time it will be in like 20 seconds anyway, so that should be enough time to, or 30 seconds, so it should be enough time hopefully to keep that. But Man at Arms also now moving forward and charging and burning it down, and that actually is a lot faster than the emergency repairs will be able to deal with that.
Now, I think Valdemar fears a little bit of actually being housed on the front line, or housed here. That actually might be a little bit of an issue. We can see him actually just fully sending out. He's just looking to see if he can get off any reinforcements, as he knows he can't take this fight.
Yeah, Anovaku has a sizable man-at-arms army now, 22 men-at-arms, and I mean they're only...
Okay, sorry, sizable? He has... His man-at-arms numbers is the same as the opponent's archer's number.
Yeah, I'm lacking the words here. I'm just, you know, my vocabulary is limited. I'm really sorry about that. It is a very big, you know, very big army for sure here. And most importantly, there's no counter for that in Feudal Age for Valdemar. He cannot. He could put the same numbers up with Man at Arms, you know, if he had the gold income. But even then, it's just, you know, Man at Arm against Man at Arm. Like that doesn't really. Yeah, that's not too exciting to watch. Archery range also getting burned down. So Valdemar losing his military production there as well. He's not at the danger of being housed as of yet, but the main issue right now is the men at arms. They're slow moving, but they're also slow dying, and now they're in the farms here as well. And this is looking grimmer and grimmer for Valdemar. And if he cannot deal with that soon, Anovaku could just drown him in men at arms if he needed to.
It's the insanity. It's a 21-minute feudal game that is just never ending, it feels like. Anovaku, 2 games in a row where we see that English is actually pretty damn strong.
Yeah, who would have guessed that English is strong? And yeah, he's trying to build up a tower again. He built a ram, so that ram is marching in from the left here again onto the houses. Men at arm moving in. There's a lot of arrow fire, so they will die eventually, but for now Anovaku has the numbers, he has the military advantage, more than twice as many army value, as much army value there, and I mean, the advantage, the defender's advantage is really strong, and we should have emergency repairs coming up for the stable here anytime soon, but there's only so much you can do with the HIE at some point, and his eco is being idled out completely, so he's running out of resources very quickly, he's running out of gold, he can only produce trash units, he doesn't have any wood left. So what do you do at that point? You can only do a couple more horsemen and then that's it. So that is a rough position for Valdemar. I do not know what he can do to gain control back of this game.
I mean, it's just a slow burn at this rate. The amount of units that Anovaku is just able to keep up in the feudal age, that is... Man-at-arms, they're not cheap. It's just straight up insanity. He has migrated to a woodline in the back, but his archers now is just gone. Longbows standing there, menacingly just damaging. They're forcing Valdemar to also micro, right? He needs to consistently just be clicking on these archers or the longbows. He can't just be A-clicking and kind of leaving it, because then they will be attacking the man-at-arms. And man-at-arms, they don't die.
Yeah, he definitely needs to micro that well, needs to focus on the longbows, and Anovaku on the other hand, he can just A-move if he wants to, and as long as there's some kind of unit standing there, the units will prefer the units over the buildings. Super annoying man-at-arm in the woodline there, spearman on the other side as well. This is looking worse and worse for Valdemar, and he's really scrambling to get some kind of control back. He's trying to get back into farms there, but yeah, it's just too much.
It's one of those surely my opponent will run out of resources soon, right?
Yeah.
But,
yeah, very well played here by Anovaku. And the first half looked really good for Valdemar, but then it kind of flipped in Anovaku's favor. I'm not 100% sure when the moment was, but Really well played here, and sticking it out in the feudal age. 24, almost 25 minutes. Just feudal action non-stop.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't
Yeah,
mind.
I'm here for it all day. Great. Okay, so
Alright.
score is even 1-1. That means we'll have at least 4 games, so 2 more games at the very least. Next up is Rus against Byzantines on the question mark map. Oh, there it is, Dry Arabia. Okay. So the vanilla of vanilla maps, very, very standard, very even, not really favoring any of these civs. What is your thoughts on this matchup or in general?
Boy. Okay, so
Oh boy.
I have some thoughts on this, and I've had this discussion a couple of times now. This matchup is super easy for Byzantines.
Mm-hmm.
The reason for that, and I think Valdemar is going to be doing that, Anovaku is going to be doing that, unless, we don't share the exact same thought. And we're already seeing a little bit of a difference here. The thing you do is you go javelins, and then you go spears, and then you ram push, and you get your ram timing. Like, your ram is basically finished at the same time your second wave of javelins is walking across the map.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that timing is so strong against Rus, because it's basically just about like halfway into their high trade house building time. And you're just sitting there going, oh, okay, cool, you're making horse archers, well, I have jabs. Oh, you're making man-at-arms, well, cool, I have a javelins that can kite you forever. That's why you don't go longbows. And then if you're making knights, well, cool, I have spears. And you're just sitting there and having so much fun. And that is the script for this game. It's pretty simple.
As a Byzantine enjoyer, I'm really looking forward to that. Whether it will play out as you predict here. In theory, that definitely makes a lot of sense. But as we've seen a couple times, games can go pretty wild, pretty fast. So I wouldn't bank too much on it playing out exactly how you said. But again, in theory, it definitely makes a lot of sense. Valdemar did open with 2 hunting cabins, so he has a very solid gold income already. He is at 3 scouts, so his sheep count should be pretty fine as well. Do you go pro scouts against Byzantines then? I mean, okay, never mind then. He is.
You do. And you kinda need to, because if not, if you want to play long feudal, which you're kind of forced to into this matchup if you do, unless you try any shenanigans, then you're gonna run out of food, and Byzantines is gonna be so fine.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, sometimes I at least think of pro scouts slowing you down when in actuality, yes, I mean, it is an investment initially, but it pays off very, very quickly, and then it actually puts you ahead. So, yeah, it does make sense to go pro scouts against that. He has 4 scouts, 2 more in queue, so that is definitely lining up for. Yeah, he wants to get as many deer as quickly as possible to make sure that he has them all safe under his town center. That will also help his gold income again. And yeah, then we go from there. I don't know.
So here's the thing, right? It is this position of these towers that is the most crucial thing. If you're able, with your ram push as a Byzantine, to actually be targeting down his tower, it's 175 wood investment that the Byzantines has gone through. And it's a big chunk of their eco when you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, it increases their wood income as well, so if you can get that down, not only do you get the defensive fortifications down, you will also make sure that their wood income is a little bit kneecapped, which, hurts their archer production. It may even force them to remacro a little bit with the Golden Gate or whatever. So that definitely is a good angle of attack. And there we have the longbows. Yeah, also that's a Western contract. Not what I expected to, but well, so we
Both
already
work.
have a
Both
slight
work.
change
Both work.
from what you said.
Like both are fine. They both work. The problem is this man at arms push. Like, if you're going to go for the ram push that I talked about, then the most reasonable response that the Roost is going to go for is these man at arms. And if you're playing longbows versus man at arms, you kind of struggle to kite them, and you want that mobility. And also this horse archer play. Personally, and this is, I should like suffix this very heavily with personally. I think that jabs do a lot better than longbows. Yes, I am saying jabs can kite man-at-arms better than longbows.
I mean, they're faster, so they clearly can kite them better. That is true. They have a very high base damage, so as long as they have the space to kite, they work better. Yeah, absolutely. For now, we do have the archers against Limitani, and that is a very one-sided match. So Anovaku needs to fall back here for the time being. And then again, I think the javelin throws would have been really nice against Ruse, which, because of their strong wood eco, I would say, except for the KT, strongest wood eco ever, or maybe even stronger than the KT actually. Strongest wood eco, they have a lot of archers usually, and if you have the javelin throwers, then yeah, works just great.
Now we have the move out, as I was talking about. Second batch of those mercenary units are moving across the field. That is when Byzantine moves out. However, this time around,
Ooh, that is
I am not
good.
200% sure about this one.
No. Limitani need to brace here. Finding a scout, that is something, but yeah. Pathing here at work as well with the big gold vein, and the horseman can just, try to force the charge, and then once Limitani are done, this is looking rough for the longbows, and they're expensive. They're pretty expensive to get, especially in the early game when you have just a little bit of oil income, and losing them is so costly. So Valdemar investing a lot into military, but that really enabling him to, not only keep his position. He only lost one or maybe two scouts. I think he lost 2 scouts in this game. So his pro scouting is still working. He still has enough units to actually circle around now. Anovaku is having a ton of villagers on gold, so he wants to rush as much gold as he needs to get the upgrades going up to the castle age at the moment.
So, I think Anovaku had... There's 2 issues here. So he had a very... Or, I should... It's not actually an issue. He had a really bad read on what Valdemar wanted to do, and I think he's gotten caught off guard pretty heavily by that military mass that Valdemar actually has. Now, what is fascinating to me is the fact that he is actually going to be going with what I assume to be cataphracts and longbows here. But with what food and with what villagers? He's lost 8, 9, 10?
Yeah, that's most likely
11?
That's a 10, 11 easily. That's probably
12?
Oh my, that's another one. 13. Go for it. There it is. And then you could
But
even...
it's not stopping.
It's not stopping. There's a 15. Oh my goodness. This is... Whoa. Like, I know it's, high stakes, tournament, qualifiers, whatever, but I do wonder if that's the moment where, like, you know what, it's been bad 10 minutes, let's go for the next one, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's,
Wow,
Valdemar threw away his army, right? Surely.
Yeah, I mean, Valdemar, he did throw away his army, but at the same time, like, if I can trade an archer for a villager, I take that trade pretty much all day, every day.
I mean, you traded your entire archer mass for 15 villagers.
Yeah, that's the thing, like 15 villages, that's a lot of villagers, and at the same time, he's not super far behind. High Trade House coming up. Anovaku is trying to grab some relics. That will help him with either his oil production or if he puts them in a monastery with gold income. And I just don't see the cataphract mass coming up. And it's just a regular cataphract, so it's not, there's no triumph, there's no pilgrim flask. So I mean, they're super strong, don't get me wrong, but you still can counter them fairly easily with just the crossbows that Valdemar has a Q1 already. You could even go for Spearman if you want to, and then you can just
I've seen this
deny
one
them.
before. Well, yeah.
Well. Oh, stopping for a second.
Okay, Akatoy.
Yeah, Akatoy defense getting popped, so that is a lot of damage. But not enough to kill the horseman, and I mean, he could go for an outpost at that point, but I don't know if that's super worth it.
I don't think so. I mean, right now it's just so difficult. Like, yeah, you have a lot of free will units. Don't get me wrong, you do. However, I think honestly the passive eco that Bruce has kind of just matches your passive units at this point in the game, honestly. It's gonna be so brutal to come back from this spot. It's not 100% over, admittedly. But I don't see the villager number climbing right now. I do see 3 relics, which could go very nicely into those longbows in terms of olive oil.
Yeah. I mean, that alone is like, currently that's all his oil income, or almost all of that is from the relics in the Grand Winery. He has a 4th one on the way, but that is a doubtful relic for now. I think Anovaku needs to drop a 2nd town center pretty soon and start pumping villagers, because he lost 21 villagers. He lost almost half of the villagers that he has. Which, like, yeah, level 5 cistern is great, that's awesome and all that, but if you don't have villagers, that doesn't mean anything. And yeah, to your point, the passive income that Valdemar has not been contested in any way. The high trade house can just pump away, the hunting cabins can pump away, all the deer, all the gold that he got from that as well. His income, if you're looking at income per minute, 5 times as much food income. His gold income is a little bit higher as well. His wood income is 5 times as high. That is really, really rough right now for Anovaku, who's down 20 villagers compared to Valdemar.
So, okay, let's just do a quick check. 22, so 110. And then we have this one, so it's a pretty solid chunk, honestly. We have some nitrates coming in. Walala going to go. 2 villagers down, not gonna be able to protect them.
Landsknecht getting 1 hit there, but not enough to actually deal anything.
And I see some more dead bills in my future.
Yeah, I mean, they might be able to, at least some of them might be able to get out there. Yeah, okay, 1 dead villager, that's not too bad. It could have been worse, right? But the Landsknecht, they don't do anything here.
Normally it would be nice and like, yeah, they're doing something, I guess, but yeah, no,
I mean, you're getting them for free from the Golden Horn Tower, right? But it's, yeah, that's, I don't know.
Yeah, no.
And like, besides the cataphracts, Anovaku's comp is very, very slow. The longbows are super slow. The Landsknechts, they're okay, but they're still infantry. And so you're just stuck in your base, and you have to kite around the horsemen, or the knights in this case, constantly. And in the meantime, Valdemar is just booming away. He must be feeling really, really good. 25 villager kills. That is insane. yeah, again, I really want to see the second town center, maybe even a third one at this point. Like it might be greedy, but you need to do something wild to come back into that game.
Yeah, and you do have that, like, while you're doing your farm transition, you are getting that stone coming in as well, right?
Yeah.
It's very helpful, admittedly. I mean, the cataphracts are here, like, there's longbows. We do have the +2 ranged armor, and we don't, like, we only have +1. These longbows, they're just gonna die here immediately. Like, there's nothing to defend them. The cataphracts, like, yes, you can actually be diving in on them. However, you don't want to dive too far because then you're suddenly not protecting your longbows anymore. And this dive is just repeatedly just holding Anovaku down, passive income, passive units, yes, everything. It's just never going to be enough to ever catch up to Valdemar. And honestly, no.
No. Well, no. So the thing is, the cataphracts are interesting with their trample ability. They don't really have the regular charge, but they have this like mow over everything in your path kind of thing. But that doesn't work on the buildings. We see it here on the screen very beautifully. So in the base, it wasn't really helping him to catch up, and outside, it's not really helping him to catch up. And now he can move on top of the crossbows, but they just shred through them anyway. And so cataphract numbers down to 2, the crossbows will deal with that super quickly, and there's just no way to deal effectively with that comp. Very well done and well played here by Valdemar, and in incredible, I mean, didn't you say it was an easy matchup for Byzantines before?
I did. Did he do what I told him to do?
No, he admittedly he did not. I have to say, like, I have to sit there and be like, oh, that's great, it's an easy matchup for Byzantines. I'm looking at that, I'm like, how am I ever gonna win against Rus? Well, there we have it. Okay, Valdemar up 2-1 here, so just needs one more win against Anovaku to make it to, let's double check, where would that be? Wait, I'm just looking at the brackets here. And then he would be in the semifinals then. So yeah, almost back in the finals where he was yesterday. So just one more game to power through, and then that series would come to an end.
Play Rus, noted. Yes, just play Rus. Stupid sip.
Yeah, I mean, Rus is very strong. Interesting matchup coming up. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, so Rockies is the next map. Ooh.
On Rockies even. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I like that. I really like that matchup on Rockies, I have to say.
I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't like it.
I've tried playing French on that map, and my god, is it brutal.
Well, yeah, I'm not looking from a French perspective. I'm looking at the Malians. I'm like, I like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, Mali on that map? I don't like it. Like, yes, you have 2 pretty safe golds in your base, so you will effectively always have 2 pit mines. But other than that, the chance of you getting screwed over by the mountain and not being able to have a single other full pit mine is pretty high. Although, I do say that, but the 4K mine that spawns will always spawn, like, in between the mountains. So, yes, you will have one more, but other than that, you got 3 full pit mines, and that's it. French on this map, you run out of food so quickly. There's a lot of gold, so if you can survive a feudal age and actually get into the castle age where you can kind of safely do a farm transition, you can get your guild hall and kind of just leave it on food to when you need it, or go castle.
Or go imp, yeah.
Then that's a separate issue. That is not then French, or sorry, Mali's gonna have that issue.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just unit-wise, I really like the Donzo. They're super annoying to deal with, and so if you have the French Knights against you and you just have the Donzo Jav comp, I think that's really good against French. And then at some point you could switch it into Sofa, and you have a good raiding unit. So I think Malians has a couple of ways. If the map generation doesn't screw you over, I think Malians is in a good position to make it work. And also, like, you know, Pro Scouts viable on that map, so both civs could technically go into Pro Scouts. Yeah, I like the matchup. That's the thing. I don't know if it's like super heavily favored for either one, but I like it.
It's a fun matchup on Dry Arabia and, you know, more normal maps. On a map like this, it's a bit different. It's a bit scarier. It's a bit more interesting. I've literally only seen one French game ever played on this map, and that was me playing French.
Did you go with Chamber of Commerce?
No, not on this map. It's a little bit too easy to take.
Yeah, I know.
And I've seen Mali played once, and that was in a test game I did to just like see like how bad is the actual gold for Mali, and it was pretty bad. Because what we needed to test was like, hey, can we actually place pit mines on some of the golds? The answer is some of them you can't.
Okay, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen like a bad spawn for Malians. Like I've seen some where like 3 gold mines were in one of the on one side of the map, and so it was either you win, like you hold that position, you have all 3, or you have none. So there were like 2 different options. But I don't think I've ever seen a really, really bad spawn for Malians. And I've seen a couple Malian games. There it is, the cat who just got fed earlier. Good to see that he is happy, or she. Well,
just
so okay.
Last bottle on my fire, just noticed.
No. But yeah, so I mean, the other option, French, I think is the logical pick here, because the other option would have been Japanese and Ottomans. We talked about that with the stone being so far out there. It's not like Ottomans is not really the greatest, and Japanese can be okay, but not necessarily. So.
I mean, Ottoman. Yeah. I would much rather like to see Ottomans on this map, though, just simply because of the fact that, like, hey, you have the TMM, you have food. My brain has completely fried. By the way, it's Rockies, not front range. Jesus.
Yeah, it is Rockies.
God. My gosh.
Oh, you were talking about front range. I was like, where's the bad where's the bad spots for Malians? I don't see the gold being. Okay, never mind. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, so I think a very good map for Malians with the gold and front pro scouts. Yeah, makes a lot more sense. So yeah, we're in game. Anovaku playing the Malians this time, opening on the pit mine. 2 houses. I kind of would expect 6 houses in this sense. As an opener, French played by Valdemar on the left side. Starting with the wheelbarrow, with the potential, you know, you can always cancel it if you feel like it, but you can start it. It's cheaper with the French, so yeah, doesn't really hurt to potentially start it up with. It's a nice little Dark Age touch here by Valdemar.
Yeah. I mean, wheelbarrow is one of those things. I've actually gotten so used to just playing the wheelbarrow build from team games as French now. I kind of forget how to do the non-wheelbarrow build.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I really like it because you take advantage of everything that the French have as soon as possible. And one of the civ advantages that the French have is to have cheaper ecotechs. And also eco buildings, and so that is really, really nice to just utilize that, and you pay. I don't want to do the math. I don't remember the numbers, but like less than 150 resources for the wheelbarrow, whereas usually it would be 200. So yeah, Wilbur is up 2 minutes into the game here for Valdemar. So a nice little advantage coupled with the faster villager production from the French. So already looking fine here for Valdemar. Anovaku, on the other hand, does have the passive gold income, so that is a nice bonus from the Malians. And I think landmark-wise, like School of Cavalry is a given, and I would also pretty much expect the Monster Quarry, especially
I
looking at
would
the
not
pit
be
mines.
surprised if there is going to be a Sovereign Trade artwork. Right here.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it. The Monster Quarry usually gets dropped really close. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So yeah, we do have the Saharan Trade Network coming up. I actually would have expected it almost a little bit further out even, because the other gold is a little bit more out there as well, and then you kind of cover the berries as well if you want to. But this way it is definitely covering the first initial pit mine and also a little bit the wood line, and you can wall it off on the left side. Maybe even cover the deer as well if you want to.
The problem is on this map is that you're realistically never going to be able to cover all of it.
Yeah, no, obsessed. Yeah, of course.
Just simply due to the fact that, hey, everything is just too far away from each other. So I'm kind of just expecting this to be... Oh my god, this wolf. Can you shut up? Thank you. So yeah, it's most likely just going to be dropping the mining camp right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of just going to be chilling and mining some gold, cow booming behind us, making donsos. I wouldn't be surprised Valdemar making 7-8 knights, not many archers, depends how he wants to play this. And then just castling with Guildhall behind it. Pro Scout 2 even, yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not super surprised by the Pro Scouts. It had been pretty common on this map, and I mean with the assists anyway. And again, you know, you pay a little less for the Pro Scouts, so I think French is one of the civs that really benefit from the Pro Scouts. You open with a School of Cavalry, so you have a stable immediately out. So a couple different reasons why French is a very good Pro Scout civ, and we hear a beautiful howl here by the wolf. Feeling lonely and desperate, maybe even.
I mean, it's just a sad man, you know?
Yeah, well, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh yeah, you're right, Pleco, hold on.
Rah. Yeah, high level content right here with the by the infantry.
I mean, it's not like there's not a lot happening.
No, I know. We're not missing a fight or any, you know, like super exciting scout finding sheep action or whatever. Valdemar is moving out with the Pro Scouts now to the first, like technically to Anovaku steer pack. 5 Pro Scouts. That is a good amount of Pro Scouts to get them in pretty quickly. 2 Royal Knights as well as 2 Archers, so the classic 2 comp here from Valdemar, Archers and Cavalry. So not for now, at least leaning, or maybe he will lean into Cavalry more heavily, but he is also adding Archers, so he doesn't want to only produce Knights. How are you with us, by chance?
I am.
There we go. So Pro Scouts being chased by the Donzos. Need to drop the tier relatively quickly. But the Knight is moving back to the base again already. So he will probably engage with the Donzo. There it is. And the Boar has also been pulled. Interesting. Yeah, one Donzo against one Knight, that is not looking good for the Donzo.
So, yeah, we're kind of just chilling. I'm actually a little bit surprised that Valdemar decided to go with archers. Normally I would kind of be like, oh yeah, it's kind of whatever. You kind of just make a couple of knights, you pressure. Both of you kind of just do your thing, and then you age up, and then you actually take the fight. Then, I wouldn't be surprised, on the other hand, if we actually just full feudal send it once again. It's kind of been the the story or the recurring theme throughout the series, which has been feudal all-ins.
Yeah, I mean, at least the French with access to the Royal Knights, they already have a pretty good shot at that. They, you know, in a sense, have everything that they want to have in feudal already. So there's not a super high need for the Castle Age for the French. And so I'm not surprised. Like, this is exactly what I see every single time I play against French. Is they open with the Knights and then they follow it up with a lot of archers. And if you get into a weird position with your army comp, you can't really counter that. You get dented in pretty hard. With the javelin throwers, you can deal with the archers pretty good, but at the same time, you need to be mindful of the knights. So it is a little bit tricky. But since the Malians don't have horsemen, javelin throwers does make a lot of sense, unless you want to go Sofa instead, which, yeah, it's just a little bit weaker knight version for the Malians.
So, yeah, I mean, one thing I want to say though, Valdemar, is building placement. Come on, man.
Well, okay. To be fair, if he doesn't plan to have it a long game and build a keep around the stables and archery ranges, then it doesn't matter. So, but yeah, other than that, I totally agree. It could look a lot more neat and clean in his base. But yeah, on the other side, Anovaku 7 cows. Oh, 6. He's eating cows, so he went down from 7 to 6. Ah, that's why I was like, wait, he's losing cows.
He is dropping a second pit mine though, which he is going to be protecting very dearly.
Oh yeah, he needs to protect that one. I mean, how do you personally feel about eating cows?
I'm fine with cannibalism.
Well, good thing I'm not going to Denver, so I don't have to fear for my life when I would see you there.
Finally, we removed some of these wolves. Anyways, we are going to be looking here. Chivalry is in on the way, though. Anovaku not responding. Should be losing a couple of vills there. Pathing, screwing him a little bit over. Textile's not in just yet. It's going to be keeping going in here, though. Chivalry. He's going to be coming in, though. Not losing a single knight is the main point here, though. If it does that, that is a lot of value lost, but a lot of value gained instead, as the chaps are being thrown, but they're being thrown on the wrong one.
Yeah,
this little cheeky guy, though, seeing if he can find a sneaky secret passage.
Oh, that's the secret passage.
He's not going to be finding one. No. He's just going to run into a bunch of
nice move here, but not enough. The Donzo javelin throwers will be able to clean it up from a distance. So he's losing one knight, but the other ones he did keep alive, and he's putting back to one super low health at least. So overall, I mean, he had 2 villages, 1 knight. Not always the best trade that you can have. But with the French villager production, he's ahead 6 villagers. So, yeah, slowly but surely getting a small equal lead here, getting the military techs now as well. But yeah, needs to respect those javelin throwers. Losing another knight there, that's a pretty heavy loss, and that's what I meant earlier with the javelin or with the Malian comp. they could be really effective against the Knights here. Javelin's a little bit out of position here, but Donzos can be there in time to save the day. And the Archers almost getting sacrificed here.
I'm a bit scared for Valdemar here, though, admittedly. This armor mass is dangerous. I mean, especially if he's going to be charging straight head on like this. I mean, the archer numbers are not there, and especially not when you factor in that these jabs are doing such good work as well. The Donzos are getting tickled down slowly but surely, but I don't think it's enough.
No, the Donzo, they were just one-shotting the Knights there with their spear throw. That was just brutal to watch. So even though the Royal Knights in general are a very imposing unit, doesn't really face the Malians too much. And the Donzos are super well equipped to deal with that. Anovaku is breaching through the wall here on the left side, looking for some more damage. He doesn't have any scouts, so he's pretty blindsided. But, even... Is there a good saying, even like a blind chicken can find the corn or whatever? So,
yeah, there's something along those lines. I don't think in English, but we have something similar in Norwegian.
Yeah.
And again, Norwegian sayings...
we have that in German, so...
Norwegian sayings are something else. Probably my favorite one is there's some owls in the boss.
Really? Oh, okay.
And then,
well, I guess.
And then we also have pull me backwards into the bird box.
Huh.
So,
I wonder where that originates from. But yeah, the French Knights were able to get some reinforcements there, so a little bit value for the cost there at least. And army-wise, I mean, Valdemar does have the numbers and the value. It's just a question: can he find a beneficial engagement? That's.
Donzos taking damage, charge coming in, getting in a lot of these Donzos though. The Knights needs to be moving on to the backline here though. These jabs, they're uncontested, cleaning up the front line. It's gone now and this jab mass should be following suit. Yeah,
the Javelins have no business here against the Knights now. The Donzos were cleaned up very fast. Now getting a little bit distracted here, I want to say, with the Donzos here. So the Javelins do make it out alive. But that was a very favorable engagement here for Valdemar, and definitely equalizing the numbers here for the destroyed value, and a little bit ahead now actually. So he must be happy about that last engagement, especially because he didn't lose too many knights, and with the chivalry he can slowly heal them up again. Just needs to have a little bit of patience.
That was just a brutal fight for Anovaku. I'm not even genuinely not sure how that one went south so quickly.
Yeah, I'm really flabbergasted about that one as well. I kind of expected the Donzo to do better, but at the end of the day, it's only fuel-age Donzo, and so if you do not brace against the Knights and you get a charge in, they also fall pretty quickly. We had the Guildhall now switching into the Royal Institute instead. So looking... I mean, he does have a healthy knight number, so we can have royal bloodlines now.
Sorry, I was just laughing at the attempted heist.
That is so funny. Ooh, that's a good shot here by the Donzos, getting potentially all scouts. Oh my god, poor scouts. It was a good attempt, but yeah, a little bit greedy, admittedly. But yeah, I mean, with the royal bloodlines, Valdemar could end that game fairly quickly. Veterancy coming in, bloodlines following suit immediately after that, so that will take a minute, but then he could actually, well, yeah, kill a lot of villagers once he runs into the base.
Yeah. I mean, you just do a little bit of tickle, just doing a little bit of a check on your opponent, saying, "Hey, what's up? How are you doing?"
Yeah.
Then go back, get Veterancy, get Royal Bloodlines, and then we can full Senate for sure. I mean, this gold mine is out now as well. So that does mean that we'll have to move out on the map. We do have 3 pit mines on the way as well, so at least going to have a little bit of passive income. Grand Fulani Corral as well in the back, and a couple of cows on the fields to be eaten as well.
Yeah, I mean he had to remacro a little bit here. He was a little bit short on food and needed to stop military production for a little. Oh, Musafadis. Okay.
It's an interesting cook. I like it. If we get a decent mass, it will definitely be good. But now Mali is in big trouble. Valdemar just full sending it into the base now, just making sure that these upgrades are not going to be in time, just going to be sitting on top of this food income. Should just be able to just get on the woodline as well, and that is going to be it for Anovaku's woodline as well. His food income is going to be taking a big dip as well, if he is able to actually be torching some of these, but he is just running out. Walls coming up now. No villagers actually going to be going down at all whatsoever. And these Mansa, or sorry, these Jabs. That was an excellent hold by Anovaku.
Yeah, that was amazingly done by Anovaku with this, just running around the wood line and in and out of the palisade wall there, and really making sure that he doesn't lose any. It did lose a couple villagers still, like here and there, but not as much as I would have expected to, and definitely a very, very good hold. And he did get the upgrade, so he is veteran now as well, and he is like way below in army value, admittedly, but army value is not the whole picture in a fight, right? It always is part of the composition and then the way the engagements happen. So definitely not out here yet. I'm not sure though with the Muzafadis, as long as there's scouts in there, whether or not they will actually achieve anything. But Valdemar is trying to find that out. He is going toe to toe here. Engagement is happening, and he's trying to end the game now. It feels like.
Yeah, I mean, going deep in here, Donzo's on the front lines, but honestly, these Royal Institute Knights, they are just too buffed up. Frontline is gone, backline is going to be next. Anovaku just does not have enough protection, doesn't have enough production. It's just not able to hold this push whatsoever. I mean, now Valdemar is just free reign into the backline here. Javelins, they're just not going to be able to hold this.
No, this time is a little bit different. There's only 2 Donzos left. There's 22 Royal Knights. Most of them are still coming in and making their way over to the base. So there's basically no counter to the Royal Knights. And as you said, Royal Bloodlines, so they're really, really beefy. There's nothing that Anovaku has here anymore, and it doesn't matter that he has a lot of passive income. If he doesn't have the army to hold this, there's nothing he can do against that. GG gets called as well.
And GG does get called indeed, and that was a pretty solid turnaround. I mean, it looked really, really rough for Valdemar, but a great fight there, admittedly.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, like, at least from military value and from the eco count. Okay, we have the dotted line here for the passive income. So Malians did have a very strong eco, but French had the military mass all the time, and with the faster castle age and then the imperial bloodlines coming in through the Royal Institute, just too much for Malians to handle. Even though Anovaku did an amazing job there with his engagements and with saving as many villagers as possible. So really great job, but overall not able to hold it against Valdemar here.